Hot jalapenos. Hot jalapenos. So you're watching Cooking with Sean, and I'm Chef Sean at your service. Since this is my first episode ever, I'm going to make one of my favorite yet eminently simple appetizers using hot jalapeno pepper and yellowish greenish pepper. So I'm going to make a little bit of a spin-off on a jalapeno popper, which I like to call a jalapeno shrimp feta cheese filled popper. And it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. First you're going to want to get your oven preheated. This oven's going to be preheated to about 450 degrees. And if it beeps like that, you just give it a little nudge and it stops beeping. Let me give you a little bit of a history on the jalapeno pepper. First of all, jalapeno pepper originates in the country of Mexico, as the Mexicans call it, Mexico. And they're typically green once they're sold in a store. Average size would be between 2 and 3 inches. Once they, towards the end of the season, I think the jalapeno season actually they'll pick a few times. Towards the end of the season they turn red. And that's when you don't really want to be eating them anymore as jalapenos anyways, and they crush them up and make a different kind of sauce. These yellowish greenish peppers, the official name is I think greenish yellowish pepper, but I get it mixed up sometimes, and they'll also be what I'm using. And I've got approximately 4 of these yellowish greenish peppers. Number doesn't really matter. Other things you need a baking sheet, because we're going to put them on here and we're going to bake them. So to get started, what I'd like all you fine people to do is take your knife, make a little slit. Not right through, but just slit all the ones on the top. And we might speed this up for editing a little bit, or edit it by speeding it up, because it's taking me a little bit of time. In the meantime, let's talk about the origin of these yellowish greenish peppers, or as some like to call them, greenish yellowish peppers. They are not from Mexico, they are originally from South America, the Chilean region, in fact, high up in the mountains. The importance of the mountains is actually the color. The ones that, that's how they get their color, it's because of the altitude. And the yellowish greenish ones tend to be higher altitude, whereas the greener yellowish ones are the ones in the valleys. So now that I have them all slit, a nice little slit just partway through, if you look at this, once we get the show rolling and get a few sponsors, maybe we'll get more than one video camera so we actually get you looking at this. But now we're going to take this little curvy shaped serrated knife, which I like to call the curvy shaped serrated knife with the teal handle. Let me try that again, the curvy shaped serrated knife with the teal handle. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all the seeds out of this, kind of going like this. Do it over the counter and be a little bit smarter. But there we go. There we go. And get all the guts and the seeds right out of these peppers. And try to keep them as much intact as you can, because that's pretty important. That's what we're going to stick the shrimp in. So as you see, hollowed out, slit. There we go. So I'm going to do that to all of these peppers. The other reason why I like this knife, that I like to call the bendy teal serrated knife, is because it's not very sharp. So I can actually grab the blade with my thumb and sort of pull those guts right out of that jalapeno. And sometimes you got to cut a little bit deeper in, but again, using your fingers on the blade is highly recommended with this kind of knife, because that's the way it goes. Some people might wear goggles for this too, because the seeds tend to go spray out. I'm going to do my greenish yellowish peppers. They're a little different. As you'll notice, the outside skin is not near as thick as a jalapeno, and you got to be careful you don't slice right through it actually. So you still want to get the seeds out and the guts out. There's not as many as that jalapeno, and they're kind of tucked right up at the top. But shake it out. Sometimes when you shake it, then works out for you a little bit better. Thing is, if you use your fingers, be prepared that you don't want to be touching your eyes or your lips or anything like that. Or certainly don't touch anybody else's eyes or lips, because it's not too nice. I mean, you could go poke someone in the eye, and you don't even have to poke very hard, and it would sting after you've been cutting these peppers. So be careful. You want to watch it. You want to be very careful. Next, some shrimp. So I have these shrimp right here, raw shrimps. They were frozen. In fact, these kind fresh are a little better, but what are you going to do, right? So let's get the peeling off of them, get all that skin and the tails off of them. Doesn't take very long. And since I have 10 peppers, 4 of the yellowish greenish ones and 6 of the jalapeno peppers, I'm going to get 10 shrimps ready. The idea is you want 1 shrimp per pepper. And my idea anyways. You can try to fit more than 1 shrimp per pepper. In fact, in those greenish yellow ones you might, if they're small shrimp. Well, you can't see, but let's get rid of a little bit of my garbage right now. Rinse the hands. Alright. So the oven's still heating up to 450. Now we're ready for the next step. What we need is a little bit of bacon and a little bit of feta cheese. So, with the bacon, typically on a pound of bacon that you'd buy from the store, I like to make the incision right around here. And I go nicely along that little yellow part. Sometimes I cut the yellow part, and it's not really as good if you cut the yellow part. But you can nicely do that. It kind of peels away, and then you can just pick one at a time. So, little tip. This one's pretty easy to open. I think you just go like this. There we go. Some feta cheese right here. Our pan. Okay. Take your first pepper. Take a shrimp. Stuff it in the pepper. A little bit of feta cheese. Now stuff the rest of the pepper with some feta cheese. Hence we call them Jalapeno shrimp and feta cheese stuffed peppers. And the key ingredient I forgot to tell you about in the introduction was the bacon. We're going to wrap this in bacon, and really you can't go wrong. You wrap anything in bacon, you can't go wrong with that. So I'm going to wrap this in bacon like so. 3, 4 loops. A little toothpick. I like to use 2 actually, just for good measure, and stick it on the baking sheet like so. Once we get it in the oven, we're going to want to cook it for 8 to 12 minutes. You're going to want to watch it a little bit, broil it rather than baking it. I would suggest that's the better alternative. And then really by the time the bacon is cooked, everything else is cooked. The shrimp doesn't take very long to cook. So we're stuffing these peppers, wrapping these peppers, stuffing and wrapping and stuffing, cats are meowing in the background. Our 12 minutes have passed and we're done. So we turn this off, and it's a little bit smoky because of all the bacon cooking, and not because it's burnt, of course, because we don't burn things. We just smoke things a little bit. So we've got them out. Give you a little sampling of what they look like. That is a jalapeno popper, a little bit of shrimp, a little bit of feta cheese, wrapped in bacon. I like to call them the Jalapeno shrimp and feta stuffed jalapenos, or something like that. This one's another green one. Let's find a yellow one down here. Here's a yellow one. So there's a yellow one right there. Yellowish greenish pepper, stuffed with shrimp, feta cheese, wrapped with bacon, a couple toothpicks in there. Ooh, and they are mighty, mighty good. So what you like to do there is plate it, as we call in the professional TV industry, cooking industry, TV cooking. Plate kind of means putting them on the plate and making them look nice. So in this case, I like to scatter the little critters. That's sort of the way they look. So, like this. If I tip them too much, they're going to all fall out, and there's something down here. But that's how they look. That's how they are. Jalapeno poppers. Cooking with Sean. We'll see you again. Here's the yellow one.